Hey there, and welcome back to this random ass Soul Level 1 playthrough of Dark Souls 3. Last time we finished the Fair and Keep, it was a miserable experience, and today we're going to be heading into the second miserable experience in a row, which is the Catacombs of Carthus, so oh boy, I can't wait to get started on this. So now I'm just going to move on forward and take out the first skeleton of the stage, and skeletons, they kind of suck because sometimes they come back to life and it's really annoying when they do because you have to kill them a second time just to make sure they stay dead. So there you go, this one comes back and then I go ahead and kill him and he gives me some cookies, which is cool, I suppose. Afterwards is this big guy who uses his shield to block his attack, so I go ahead and two-hand my sword so I can whack his shield without having to care. He gets a few hits in, but eventually I start getting hits of my own, and after a couple of R1s and in R2 he goes down and he gives me a Titanite shard, which, spoiler alert, is the first of many we'll be seeing. Kill the two skeletons that come and ambush you in the doorway, and now you can go ahead and climb up the stairs to face yet another skeleton, and you accidentally get a backstab to start out the fight. So of course he survives with 1 HP, so I go ahead and finish him off myself, and now here comes another skeleton who manages to dodge one of my attacks like a god, but it's not over because there's 2 more skeletons to kill, including this one with a bow, so I go ahead and take him out first. And then this guy does his weird ass flippy move, so manages to get a hit on me, and I go ahead and kill him. It took 3 hits because I didn't have my lords, so head down the ladder and pick up these souls over here. Proceeding along is this illusory wall you can roll through, and on the other side is a skeleton, and I'm going to totally miss my jump attack like a doofus, after which I'm going to go ahead and kill him and pick up this pyromancy tome over here, but he's one of those bastard skeletons that come back to life, so go ahead and kill him a second time, for real this time, and there's also an archer guy over here, so I'm going to kill him so he doesn't get in my way later. Now there's this guy who is kind of a pain in the ass because he just moves and jumps all over the place while throwing knives at you and starts slashing around his sickle thingy. And he also poisons through a lot of stuff because of his dash, so yeah, they kind of suck, but eventually I start getting a few hits in and eventually he dies, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up this shard gem, which, who cares, and also another Titanite shard and some more throwing knives, kukris actually, and there's also this guy with a great sword, but he's not as annoying, but he does like to do a lot of flips, but eventually he dies as well, and he gives me a Titanite shard too. So further ahead is another great sword wielding guy, so I'm going to wait for him to finish throwing his temper tantrum, and I'm going to start whacking him, and he decides to throw another temper tantrum, and he manages to hit me this time, but it's not too bad, so I just go ahead and heal, we trade hits, and he dies. And I pick up another Titanite shard because for some reason these guys are really generous, and there's 2 more over here, so hot damn, I'll never have any problems upgrading my weapons again. After backstabbing and killing another skeleton, I'm going to run all the way to the end of this hallway to pick up the souls, I think, that are over there. Yeah, exactly, some more souls. And now I'm going to head back to the beginning of the stage to take the shortcut because I mistakenly thought there was something to pick up here, but there's nothing. There's just 2 skeletons to kill, including this one who tried to stab me with an arrow, I think. I'm not sure exactly what that was. And then I tried to plunge attack this guy, and I failed, but somehow he missed me, so I managed to survive. After healing, he decides to jump backwards and he gets hit by the skeleton ball. I narrowly avoid getting hit by the skeleton ball myself, and those 2 guys get killed by the ball, so I start heading up the stairs. Now I dodge the ball one more time, pick up the ember, and now I'm going to head into this little corridor. I thought Henri was supposed to be there, but he's not for some reason, so oh well. No, she's not actually. Kill the thing, get the twinkling titanite, and pick up some moss clump. Pick up the undead bone shard that was left by the skeleton ball, of course, and head on to this hallway to move on, as well as find a couple of skeletons. Dodge this guy's projectiles and go ahead and kill him. Get hit by one of the little venom thingies he summons. So heal up, and now there is a ring at the end of this room over here. There's a whole ton of pots, and some of them spawn projectiles that start assaulting you. So eventually I get the ring, but I get hit once, which is no big deal. So now there's this room where there's this guy with his greatsword, and if you go in, there's 2 more guys who start throwing shit at you, so I'm going to lure this guy out so I don't have to deal with all of that. So now that we can have a proper 1v1 fight, I go ahead and start slapping him. And as you can see, his eyes are glowing, which means that he's one of those bastards who come back to life after a little bit. So I go ahead and wait for him to come back, narrowly avoid stepping on the trap there, which I admit I didn't even remember it was there. He goes ahead and does his move, and he manages to get a hit on me because I messed up my attack, and I managed to kill him, and he gives me Titanite Shard once more. A little further ahead is this soul item, which is right next to a trap, so I'm going to go ahead and trigger the trap voluntarily so I can get some free damage in on this guy. So he goes ahead, dashes up to me, and 2 hits later he's dead. He gives me a Titanite Shard as well, of course, because apparently it's just the norm to get Titanite Shards from these guys around here. So I two-hand my sword to start slapping away at this guy. He gets a hit in, which is no big deal. And after dodging a few more times, I'm going to go ahead and start slashing, but he manages to use his dash to get out of the way, and he survives a little longer, but he ultimately dies, and gets me a Titanite Shard. Also pick up December over here. Time for a skeleton ball number 2, and he's gonna start rolling over there, so we can go back there and pick up a large Titanite Shard, which, as a matter of fact, is just enough large Titanite Shards to upgrade my sword one more time, and conveniently enough, there's also a bonfire right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and light it up and take a quick trip to Fighting Shrine to upgrade my sword as well as my Estus. So back at Firelink, I'm going to go ahead and see Andre first and foremost, try and reinforce my Estus, but I don't have any Estus shards, so I don't know why I did that. Upgrade my broadsword to +5 for the extra damage, which is going to be pretty nice. And I'm going to go ahead and see Mr. Pyromancer, so I can give him the Pyromancy tome I picked up. And then I'm just going to leave him be with whatever he's doing. I'm also gonna go and see the Shrine Maiden, but I'm not actually going to buy any human pine resin, but I will buy some charcoal pine resin and some charcoal pine bundles just for the sake of it. And also some alluring scrolls, because why not, they may come in handy at some point. I guess I could have used them to lure out that skeleton earlier, oh well. Burn the then boat shard at the bonfire, and finally go back to the catacombs to progress actually. So back in the catacombs, get rolled over by a skeleton ball number 2. And make sure you heal up so you don't die. There's also a big rat over here, so I'm going to go ahead and take this time to kill him so he doesn't bother me. 3 hits is all it takes, and there's another rat who starts coming to assault me. So now I start heading into what I'm going to call the muck corridor. There's Titanite shards there, 2 of them I think. And there's also these bone wheel skeletons, so they're kind of annoying, but they're not that big a deal. But I'm going to kill them so they don't bother me. So there you go, 2 for the price of 1, which is very nice. And there's another one right over here. I'm gonna try to go for a dash attack, but he's going to hit me first. And there you go, he's dead. Simple as that. At the end of the muck corridor is the Carthus blood ring, so I'm going to pick that up real quick. And there's also an ember over here. So go ahead and heal, and as you're trying to get out of this hole, you're going to be ambushed by Mr. Tsarig. And he's kind of a jerk, but I'll let you see why eventually. So we'll start off with dishonorable backstab, of course, and use charge R2 and 2 R1s for some nice damage. So after getting all this damage, I'm going to get shield bash from like a mile away. So I'm going to take this time to heal so that nothing stupid happens, and I'm just going to try to swing, but he's going to dodge me twice with a backstab before getting a hit of his own. Now I'm going to rush out of the hole, and 2 hits later, he poises through my attack and he kills me with his true combo. 2 hits, by the way. So after respawning, I went back and claimed my souls again before deciding to move along, pick up the 2 Titanite shards that are over there and fight this guy where everything was going fine, and then I wasted all of my stamina like an idiot, so I got hit twice and finally thrice, and that's when I died. Coming back with a vengeance as usual, and I went ahead and killed Dim for real, and I also managed to get a Titanite shard from him. Break the invisible wall and head up the stairs to prepare yourself to fight an enemy, but there was no enemy. Oh wait, yes there was. So we'll start fighting him as well, and he starts throwing some shit all over the place. So after a couple of hits, he eventually dies, and I pick up the Grave Warden's ashes. It's at this point that I start to realize just how frail I actually am, but well, there isn't much I can do about it for now. So afterwards, this guy comes back to life, and I could have killed him like twice over, but I decided to give him an opportunity to stand back up. So go ahead and kill him, pick up some large Titanite shard right there, and kill this guy as well because he's in the way. Pick up the Titanite shard he leaves for you. Go ahead and kill this guy so the skeleton ball down there can break apart so I can claim whatever it has to give me. And kill this archer guy who's rather inefficient at his job, and pick up this Carthus Rouge over here. So after that I decided I would step on the trap to attack the guys over there. Turns out that the skeleton ball gives you a dark gem, which is whatever. Kill the crab and also this Titanite bug for a fire gem. Kill the skeleton, who gives you a Titanite shard, and pick up some yellow bug pellets right over here, which, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but oh well. There's 2 black bug pellets over here. Kill those skeletons so they don't bother you. Pick up some souls and open the shortcut back to where you fought Zerg before. So now it's time to head on to the boss. I had a look over there because I thought there was a whole bunch of skeletons following me, but it turns out there was nothing at all, so oh well. I take this time to equip the black bug pellets to my hotbar, and now it's time to go ahead and enter the room so you can prepare to fight the boss. But before I do that, I'm going to use an ember. There you go, just to ensure that I can survive better. Time for Wolnir, man. Fun fact, you can actually reach his right arm before you trigger the fight, so that's what I'm going to do. But I went a bit too far to the right and I totally failed to see his arm, so instead I went way too far forward and ended up triggering the fight by accident. So I'm gonna go ahead, get slapped, heal back up, and he's gonna try to slap me again, so I'm going to just roll like a crazy person, but it worked out. I managed to dodge his attack, so I go ahead and destroy the first bracelet. Pop a black bug pellet just in case I have to deal with the fog he throws out, so I can survive a little bit faster and maybe not die. Dodge the slap as well. So now it's basically just one big waiting game until he decides to give me an opening to hit the bracelet on his right arm. I pick up the Pyromancy Dome that's laying in front of the area while I'm waiting. He decides to puke out his fog, which you don't want to stay inside of it, otherwise you die really freaking fast. And he decides to start crawling towards me, so I figure this is the perfect time to get a couple of hits in. I do manage to get 2, which is not enough, but it's better than nothing. And then he tries to slap me again, but I just roll right on through, and I also roll on through the slam as well. And I unfortunately didn't manage to get any hits in there. So since the effect of the gold spine resin has worn off, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it again, dodge another slap, and dodge the slam as well, and I managed to actually get a few hits in this time. Still not enough to break the bracelet, so I figured I'm going to stop waiting again, but then I see he starts lifting his arm up, and I think this is a rather slow move, so I figured I can go ahead and just slap the bracelet and actually destroy it this time. One of the skeletons spawned, but I would go ahead and kill him so he doesn't bother me. And then I basically just go ahead and circle around straight to the other bracelet so I can get started on that one, and well, a few hits later it's gone, and that's Wolnir dead. Fortunately, I didn't die, because I have a really bad habit of just getting impatient and getting myself killed like an idiot in this fight, but well, I managed to avoid the embarrassment this time around. So that's basically the end of the catacombs, but well, as it turns out, I hadn't been going for all that long, so I figure I'm going to go ahead and do something more while I'm here. So I'm going to head back outside of Wolnir's arena, straight to the bridge, and I'm going to slap it with my sword. And I'm going to slowly wait for it to break and stop falling against the wall so it can eventually stabilize itself enough to be used as a ladder so I can climb down. It takes way too long to wait on that. Down at the end of the bridge ladder is a room that eventually leads you to a secret area, kind of. And in the way there's this fire demon you have to fight. Well, you don't really have to fight it, but I'm going to go ahead and fight it anyway. So anyway, it's just another fire demon like we've seen before, and just like before I managed to screw up and die. So of course I came back and started by picking up my souls, and I'm going to start slapping him again. I accidentally slapped the skeleton, which causes him to aggro against me, which isn't that big a deal seeing as the demon kills me in a single hit, no matter the circumstance, so I just decided I'm going to roll with it anyway. So I just keep on slapping him with my sword slowly but surely. The skeleton comes back to life. Let's go ahead and kill him so he doesn't bother me. And then the fire demon starts charging up this big attack, so I get killed by it because I didn't think it would reach me all the way over here. So on attempt number 3, I was sick and tired of waiting for the bridge to fall, and I realized I could probably just drop down there without actually dying, so I went and dropped and I died. So attempt number 4, I managed to make my way back to the fire demon once more. Hopefully I won't die once again. So dodge the fire, dodge this sweep attack as well, and this slam. And with the help of the skeleton, we managed to actually stagger that thing pretty quick, so we're just going to keep on slapping him, and soon enough he actually dies. And thank God for that, because I was getting kind of tired of waiting on this stupid bridge to fall, so I killed the skeleton in the meantime, but he's going to come back to life, so I'm going to patiently wait for that and kill him a second time. Kill the mimic that's up here as well after a couple of hits, dodge his attack and finish him off. And I'll wait for him to fall down on his back, pick up the reward he can't use, and drop down to keep on moving, drop down the stairs to go a little bit faster, and here there's a large titanite shard you pick up, as well as some souls I believe over there, if I remember correctly. Indeed. There's also a crap ton of skeletons and they all respawn, so I decide that I don't want to deal with that right now, so I'm just going to ignore all of them and head straight for the bonfire. So I'm going to light it real quick, and I'm also going to sit on it and hope that there's no skeletons that come to bother me. So now that I've set at the bonfire, I'm going to head back out of the room and pick up these items over here, which is just a silly helmet as well as a ring that I have no use for. And I'm going to also head back to Firelink Shrine real quick for some shopping, maybe. So back in Firelink, I'm going to go ahead and see Mr. Ludleth over here again, just to see if there's anything I forgot about or something. Well, there isn't much of anything new that I could use, but I do eventually decide to go ahead and pick up Havel's ring just in case I would need it later. He gives me some random mumbo jumbo and I'm off to do my stuff. And I think that's going to be the end of the video for today, so once again I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, that's cool. If not, well, sorry, I tried my best. Bye!